Hey, my handsome ladies and gentlemen, this is Shmeaty. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new. In today's video, who needs Zygarde? We've got a Shadow FLYGON video today, and we're pairing it with the basically ubiquitous save switch in this season of Galarian Weezing and Skeledirge, who I felt was a very strong core pairing with FLYGON to negate some of those weaknesses you have to Fairy and Ice. I wasn't too sure about this team, but I played it and it was super fun, so let's take a look at how it did. We're going to be kicking things off with game number 1, leading Shadow FLYGON into Talonflame. What an amazing lead for us. This is about as good as it's going to get for you if you're running FLYGON, to be completely honest with you. I'm going to farm up 6 Dragon Tails and they give me the 6th one for free. This is absolutely amazing for us as they threw on alignment. They get the one move off, and now as they're approaching their second move here, I'm going to fire off this Dragon Claw. They got my shield with their Flame Charge, but look how much energy this FLYGON has. Nearly a Scorching Sands, and we're at the back-to-back Dragon Claws versus their Guzzlord. They are not going to be having a very fun time in this matchup. Dragon Claw grabs the shield. The second Dragon Claw is going to either grab this second shield or do insane amounts of damage onto this Guzzlord. They opt to double shield, but using that many resources on a Guzzlord is not going to be too helpful when there's a Weezing in the back. GG's. Getting into the next game, FLYGON now into an Alolan Muk. Fortunately, FLYGON's picking up some leads here. Unfortunately, we're not on Mudshot, so we don't have the Mudshot fast move pressure. But the Dragon Tail's still chunking away at the Shadow Alolan Muk. No problem at all. They bait me with an Acid Spray. Could have been a Dark Pulse, didn't really want to die, so I shielded it up. I'm firing off the Dragon Claw. I'm now at the back-to-back, so if they want to give me a shield, they're going to have to give me 2. I'm going to under-tap this one because I believe in fear of the fact that they would just make another move there and put me in a bad spot. This is the CMP tie, so the under-tap was absolutely a good call. The Dark Pulse connects onto my FLYGON there, but now it's just Skeledirge time. Skeledirge resisting the Poison Jabs and getting a 2 Incinerate head start, and now running that Calm Day move, non-legacy move, but Calm Day move of Torch Song. This Pokemon is an absolute menace. You're going to see me wait the turn, making sure that Skeledirge throws their Incinerate. They just eat my Shadow Ball and switch out into a Drifblim, and this trainer is so unbelievably weak to an opposing Skeledirge up energy. A Shadow Ball nearly KOs their Drifblim. Drifblim able to make a last second move here. I don't really think whatever I do matters here because their Skeledirge is going to be forced to commit energy onto mine. That debuff allows that Drifblim to live, and I have a high rank Skeledirge, so they will win CMP. But what exactly is winning CMP going to do for them when they have a 2% HP Skeledirge up against a Weezing, firing off the Sludge on alignment, losing the CMP tie? The Shadow Ball, even boosted, will not be enough to KO, so the Sludge BM is going to solidify this game. GG's to this trainer. In the next match, it's going to be Shadow FLYGON now leading into a Golisopod. Golisopod, the newly buffed Meta Menace, up against my hard anti-meta, whatever you consider FLYGON. They're going to fire off a move immediately on 5. Not the best timing ever, but that's okay by us. They're probably still going to outpace us to the next move, so I'm going to throw 3 Dragon Tails and a Dragon Claw here. And if they let this Dragon Claw through, it's going to do a sizable amount of damage onto the glassy Golisopod. Golisopod is going to eat the Dragon Claw, knowing that they would survive and make a last-second Aqua Jet. I'm going to shield up the Aqua Jet, as now I do have a little bit of residual energy, and I do have switch advantage, and I can dictate it however I see fit. They're going to bring in a Superior, and now I have the Dragon Claw loaded, so I'm just going to throw this, and I have 2 Superior answers, so I'm just hard switching. And in the back, they have a Golurk. This Golurk, now that it's down energy, this isn't the worst spot that I've ever been in, believe it or not. I'm firing off Brutal Swing number 1, firing off Brutal Swing number 2, and I'm going to either get bow shields or a whole heap of damage onto this Golurk. Golurk, not about any of that smoke. I'm going to shield up, trying to get Brutal Swing number 3 onto the Golurk. They're going to fire out the Shadow Punch here, and now I'm going to get this Brutal Swing. This is going to be absolutely massive damage. Golurk, very, very frail. I'm switching into the FLYGON, landing that Dragon Tail is very crucial there. The reason being is that puts it in 1 Incinerate range, and you know what this isn't? This is not Shadow Punch range, even though that's a very attack-weighted Shadow Golurk on our screen. We're going to be able to, if this is a Frenzy Plant, this might get a little awkward. We might get Vine Whip down. Let's take a look. It's an Aerial Ace, and we're going to reach that Torch Song as our opponent reaches for the top left. GG's. hey look, it's us but better. In the next game, Shadow FLYGON leads into a Shadow Dragonite. My strategy here is always just going for the extra Dragon Tail, and as you see here, this opponent fires off their energy immediately on alignment, meaning that I just get a full Dragon Tail's worth of energy and damage onto the Dragonite, easily winning the 1-0 shield scenario. I'm happy with that. I'm not going to play into the CMP tie. I'm not even sure if I win or lose it. I just kind of don't want to. I'm more happy playing for that energy lead, and now they're going to bring in their Drifloon. Now I do have two things that can handle the Drifloon, not particularly well, but I do have the G-Zing, so I'm switching out, and they're on Mystical Fire for some reason. That's a very interesting moveset. I'm going to fire off this Brutal Swing, and the Dragon Tail chip means that this Brutal Swing is going to do some sizable damage. It wouldn't have KO'd, so the shield there is a little questionable, but now I've got another Brutal Swing. Are they going to shield this one up is the question. They double shield the Drifloon, essentially spoon-feeding me the information that this G-Zing is very, very valuable for whatever Pokemon it is they have in back. Because why else would you double shield the Weezing here? I'm going to build up to their next Mystical Fire, catch it onto the FLYGON. They full charge it, KOing my FLYGON. But now I have so much energy loaded on the G-Zing, and they're going to have to try to catch my energy here. They go for the one Hex and try to catch. It's just not going to happen though. I'm firing off the Sludge. In comes the Virizion. Virizion, in case you didn't know, gets 2-shot by Sludge. So Sludge number 2 is going to remove this Virizion from the screen, and we threw at 100 energy. So we have so much residual back. In comes the Drifloon, but Drifloon has to deal with now a loaded Brutal Swing. Brutal Swing from this range KOs the Drifloon. GG's to this trainer. Getting into the next game. Oh, what a lead. Okay, these have to be like hard cherry picked, right? What is Dragalge doing on my screen? Anyway, it was an Ampharos lead into our FLYGON. Probably, I thought the Talonflame was the best it was going to get. No, that's probably even better. I'm bringing in the G-Zing now, having chipped the Dragalge here. We can easily handle this with Brutal Swings from the G-Zing. They're going to be able to fire off a move here, but I'm just not threatened by anything that this can be. It's going to be the Aqua Tail. If they went for the Sludge Bomb there, probably would have been a little more impactful, but I just don't have to shield this G-Zing. The Aqua Tails, even a third one, is not going to do enough damage to KO, so I'm going to actually commit to firing off this Brutal Swing here. I could have committed to the farm down, but realizing they were going to make a move, I didn't want to have too low health on my G-Zing, as it certainly has play into this Ampharos. Ampharos comes back in, but I think we're outside of range where a Brutal Swing is going to KO here, so they're going to have to farm up quite a little bit of energy and then fire off a move at the G-Zing to remove it from the field. They are not intent on shielding the Ampharos there. Reason being is because they know it has no play whatsoever. In comes a Poliwrath, and Poliwrath a little bit problematic as the Skeletor just now on the moveset of Torch Song, but it's a little less problematic when you realize that we can make them drain all of their energy on this G-Zing, bring in the Skeletor, build up to a Shadow Ball, and no matter how much energy you have here, I just don't have to shield here. This is going to be the Icy Wind. They are desperately trying to debuff my attack stat. I'm just building up to 100 energy, and now this game is absolutely over. I believe the Shadow Ball should KO from this range just about. They thought that they were KO'd there. They're reaching for the top left. GG's once again. Getting into the next game, Jellicent on our FLYGON. Not nearly as comfortable as the last few like easy mode leads that Niantic's algorithm threw at me. That's a joke, by the way. That doesn't exist. Anyway, they're gonna fire off a move at my FLYGON. I'm gonna shield it up regardless of what it is, and now I'm gonna go for the Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw is going to apply some moderate pressure onto the Jellicent. Jellicent, of course, going to no-shield because it is a big, bulky boy. And they are going to be able to fire off a move onto my G-Zing, but I just don't have to shield this whatsoever. It's a Shadow Ball. It does a sizable amount. I'm going to fire off my Brutal Swing on 4, making sure that I don't allow the Jellicent to reach another move. And now Brutal Swing is going to actually go unshielded by the Jellicent. They're willing to give it up. This Jellicent did a sizable amount of damage to my team, though, as by the time Jellicent gets taken out here, I've gone down a shield and lost about 70% of my G-Zing for the Jellicent KO. So a little bit unfortunate there. ABA goes so far as a Drifloon now comes in, and Drifloon's not going to have a good time. We're looking for the Brutal Swing, and we get the new mechanic. Damage registration error. You love to see it. Oh man, Skeletor's coming in for that head start, and I know this is going to be an icy win because I've shown the FLYGON, so I'm no shielding with massive confidence. In comes a Cobalion, and that's a good game. We're getting into the next game. It's us, but better once again. Shadow FLYGON into Dragonite. Honestly, this one's not so good because it's non-shadow. It does have the Coolio costume though, so I mean, at least there's that. They throw on good timing here, so a little bit unfortunate for me. I can't just take advantage of them throwing on bozo timing. They're gonna bring in a Donphan. What a team so far. Non-shadow Dragonite, non-shadow Donphan, and we do get the attack drop from our Scorching Sands with our FLYGON. That is massive, allowing us to comfortably bring in the Skeleturge, and these Mud Slaps are hitting for super effective damage, and now they're going to fire off a Trailblaze. The reason why we bring in Skeleturge here is because Donphan will typically run a moveset of Body Slam and Trailblaze, which is both resisted by, which are both resisted by Skeleturge, is unique Fire Ghost typing. They're going to fire off another Trailblaze here. We live it on 1 HP, and I am able to make a last-second Torch Song here. Torch Song is going to land onto their Dragonite as they are able to catch, which is a little bit unfortunate. They bring in a Roserade. Roserade looking to fire off some energy here, and I actually feel like I need to land this Dragon Claw on this Roserade to stay in this game, so I'm going to shield up their Weather Ball, fire off a Dragon Claw onto the Roserade, show me the damage. Roserade nearly getting taken out. That's very nice for us. That damage is massive. And now it's just the Donphan and the Roserade. In comes the Donphan. Donphan desperately looking to reach a move here, but not quite able to. The spamminess of Jeezing. 8 turns to the Brutal Swing. Down goes the Donphan. Back in comes the Roserade. But Roserade, even if this is a Sludge Bomb, we just live it so easily. Very attack-weighted Pokemon, but it's just not enough. GG's. We've reached the final game of the video. Shadow FLYGON into Feraligatr. Non-Shadow Feraligatr at that. I'm going to stay in here as I don't really have a good response to a Feraligatr, so I'm just going to stay in. And they are going to fire off the Hydra Cannon on 5, meaning that I can no-shield. This is a non-Shadow Feraligatr, so I'm in a good spot to just send my Scorching Sands here. I should have realistically gone for a Dragon Claw, because now they can just commit to the Shadow Claw farm down, and indeed they do. This is tough. I'm bringing in the Jeezing. They bring in a Snarl Alolan Muk. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is an L, isn't it? They're going to fire off a move here. I don't even know why I no-shield, because this is always going to be a Dark Pulse, and the Snarls may very well KO me here. I'm going to have to shield up this move, whatever it is, and hope that my very low HP Skeleturge and Wheezing combo is going to be able to cook up whatever they have in the back. I'm not feeling it, though. The Torch Song, going to grab a shield. I do have another one loaded, and now I'm one off of a third Torch Song, so I don't think I live the Snarls to get there, but it would be massive if we could. I'm going to put the Copium down for right now, though, bring in the Jeezing, and I thought I was going to land this Brutal Swing onto their Gator, but in comes a Venusaur, an absolute relic of the past, and unfortunately, this isn't looking too good for me. I'm going to be able to make the back-to-back Sludges here, but I need to get this Venusaur off the screen immediately. Once they start landing these Shadow Balls onto us, it's going to be a very, very awkward spot. This first Sludge Bomb is going to do a lot of damage. I'm looking to overfarm. I overfarm too much, and this is just game over. They can combo play me, so I'm predicting the combo play, looking to tap my Skeleturge button, but it doesn't register, and that's just going to be game over. GG's to this trainer. If you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. Yes, I'm going to haphazardly start the outro over this very unfortunate L. I really wish I didn't have to end the video off on this one, but this is actually where the footage I had for this team ended. I had a lot of fun, and I had a video where I was really super hard countered. FLYGON into Primarina on Charm, and I believe I was just thoroughly hard countered throughout the whole game, and I was able to pull it out. I would have loved to show you guys that video, but upon trying to get this video together, that file was lost, so really unfortunate. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I've been Shmeaty. Thanks once again so much for watching. I hope to see you all again next time, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.